Hello, I'm Antonio Neves, and this is 3-Minute Ad Age, your daily video news show. In his talk about current economics and the future of U.S. marketing, Deloitte Research's Carl Steidtmann pulled no punches. Speaking at last week's National Retail Federation convention, he said consumers were being deleveraged of their purchasing power in a way that has epical implications for the marketing industry.
We are in the midst of a great transformation, a shattering of the traditional order in which all of us grew up in and began our business careers. It is a transformation that will create a very different economy when we come out of it than the economy we went into it. What's changed with the consumer? Ultimately, this is a consumer-driven industry. It's the consumer that drives the bus. First and foremost, the consumer is being forced to delever. It's not just the banking system that's going through this enormous process of deleveraging that's creating the deflation that many retailers and businesses are dealing with today. It's also the consumer. We're seeing a huge destruction of consumer credit. We're seeing an enormous destruction of mortgage debt. Mortgage debt is down by $500 billion on a year-over-year basis. There's never been a time in the modern history of the United States that we've seen a destruction of credit on the magnitude that we've had in the last 12 months. This process of deleveraging, we think, will continue and will continue for some time. There was a long period of time where economists and social critics worried about the consumer getting more and more in debt. And then we hit this decade. And you can see from 2001 to 2007, the level of indebtedness by the consumer increased by as much as it had over the previous 40 years. We literally went on an orgy of debt that has put the consumer in a position where they are no longer in a position to spend the way they did in the past. Literally, Americans did go to the mall after 2001, and they didn't come back. And they continued to spend. And we went through this period of sort of a hedonistic gluttony. And every recession, you always see a return to simplicity. And that's what's going on now. Now, traditionally, that return to simplicity doesn't last beyond the recession, the end of the recession. This time it will, because the consumer simply does not have the wherewithal to continue spending at the level that they did in the past because they don't have the credit as they go through this process of deleveraging.
And that's it for this 3-Minute Ad Age. Thanks for being with us. I'm Antonio Neves at Advertising Age of New York.